All right, so let's get into the review Dynasty versus Charge in the main melee. Obviously, this was a pretty big upset. 1 seed versus 7 seed, 3-2. Haven't seen Charge play at all. Watched Seoul's first series versus Hangzhou. Seoul looked decently sloppy on dive. Got a little cleaner as the series went on. And then Hangzhou just looked very, very poor. And when they needed to play double shield, they played the old school Hanzo Mei, which is not great. So we'll see how this goes. Charge obviously saw Seoul play before this series. And Charge was able to select first map here, right? So they select Lijiang Tower, right? No worries. Lijiang to me is one of the maps where dive is not super favored, not super strong. You really want to play Rhine on probably definitely control center, but probably also gardens, and it's probably also the best comp here on Night Market. So it has the potential to force Seoul out of their comfort zone. I'm interested to see if either team actually plays something that's not dive. At least in Night Market. Let's see. Wait, Guangzhou's actually playing this comp? What? Wait, no, Guangzhou's trolling. Oh, wait, they actually just scouted in control and changed their comp. Are you serious? I've never seen this in my life. They actually TP a Sombra out so she can scout the comp. And they decide they're going to play a very similar comp to what Hangzhou played. I still do not like this composition. I don't understand why you're playing Rhine Zarya here. Why isn't this just Orisa Diva? Oh, Shu just gets instantly one-shot by the dive. So a little bit of a cleaner dive this time. And also you end up having to play first fight like a retake. Like they have all the space already. They have all the control already. You have to push in. So like I understand in my head like how this comp works, right? Because these guys just stand there and do damage and make it to where these people don't want to dive, right? This is a tanky front line that's hard to kill. This is a tanky back line that's hard to kill. And you don't want to run. It's not fun to run a risk to run Sigma or Diva with like against this comp. Sigma and Diva both get picked on really hard by these heroes, so it's not that fun in a slow comp to play those heroes. So since you don't want to play Sigma or Diva, instead you play. I gotta figure out why I keep getting these spammers and get them to stop being in my chat. It's actually so annoying. So if you don't want to play Diva or Sigma, I mean, you probably don't want to play Hog either, so you want to play Zarya, and that means you want to play Rhine, but like, I don't know, bro. I feel like you just play Orisa Diva and you just make it work. Like, it's not that hard. I feel like the Diva doesn't get picked on hard enough for the Zarya to be better. So let's see how this dive works. Really great timing there for the dive from Gesture. It almost looks like, let's look at this from Fitz POV, but it almost looks like the bubble actually prevents them from being able to break the hack. So he sees the turret. He finds a way to get out of the turret LOS. Oh, Eileen needs to break that, dude. Eileen needs to break that. Oh, but that's a great bubble. It makes it to where the people being dove don't get to stop the hack. That's actually really well done. Fitz played that really well. Seoul definitely already looking cleaner than they did against Hangzhou. That looked like how Shanghai looked against... Oh my god, Badoshin does this crazy stuff, bro. He plays so aggressive on Ana in this comp. Okay, Fitz finds a hack in the back line. They don't have a very clean engage. And that's because they're all kind of bunched up, right? So I talk about this a lot, but a big thing that you want in dive is you want to come from 3 different angles, if at all possible. So like the first time, they had Fitz here, they had Prophet just kind of spamming on them, and then they had Gesture jump in, and he ended up right here, like next to them. So they're on like 3 different angles, right? And that's not bad. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. But what happens here is they have Fitz in the back, and then everyone else just kind of looking straight on, so you don't even remotely have 3 different angles. Or Gesture's off to the side a little bit, actually. Yeah, I mean, he and Prophet are coming from the same angle. They really only have Fitz off-angling at all. They totally sustain through the dive. And then it's just going to be really hard to win at this point. Eileen does go down. Eileen has not been getting the value you would hope he would get on McCree. But they do end up winning the fight. Now they've already got a grab as well. Krong is a good Zarya player. He was a good Zarya player in Korean Contenders, in my opinion. I feel like he's actually a very underrated off-tank in the league. I think he can play all the off-tanks to a very high level, at least mechanically. So now they're kind of forced to play in the open because they want to stop the enemy tanks from having space to like set up a dive. So Rio does a good job of that. Gesture can't get in, and that means that it's a very easy whip shot from Chara onto Gesture. Rio actually trying to block the heals onto Gesture, and then they even try and grab him during Primal, but neither of those things work, and the dive actually ends up paying off. Yeah, I don't know. This comp feels so weird for just holding wide space or holding open space, because the Rein Zarya is so bad at that. So like when the other team pushes into you in this comp, this isn't a comp that wants to like stuff the choke, right? You're on like BAP McCree Torb, right? You want to play more open space. You want to use all this space to your advantage, right? But then the Rein Zarya are just like standing here not doing anything. So it feels really weird to me. I'm not a big fan of that, to be honest. Is it worth to scout or no? Sorry, I missed that. It's very, very weird to scout first fight of Control. Winning first fight is so important, and a huge key to winning first fight is having good positioning and getting to the spot first and getting to the choke first. Like that's why rollouts in Control maps are like so heavily discussed and like solved. One thing teams will do sometimes, if they roll out and they see the enemies on a counter comp, they'll turn around and swap, but they try and roll out on their comp first, because if they're not countered, they want to be there to fight. But Charge says there's no comp that we feel comfortable blind picking. None. So they just only want to counter pick. That's a really weird thing. It is not typical at all. But what would you suggest for tanks instead? I think if you want to hold open space, you're playing a BAP comp, you're playing a Tor, you just want Orisa. You want Orisa here. And I think you want D.Va. I think Sigma is not very good versus this comp. Sigma is going to get pressured a lot. I think D.Va will also get pressured, but D.Va is going to get a lot more value than Zarya would. And Orisa is going to get infinitely more value than Rein. This Rein just blows my mind. So it just puts you at a disadvantage even if your comp is better? Yes. Because you're retaking. So, like, the first fight, Charge came out, like, Dynasty was all set up. Like, Fitz was hiding here while they push out of this choke. It was as if Dynasty had already capped and won first fight, and you have to retake, which is hard, right? It's like pushing through a choke. It's retaking, which is not something you want to do. So they made their first fight, which is the most important fight, they put themselves at a giant disadvantage by having to retake. It's really weird. And their comp isn't even good at holding space either. I don't know. It's very odd. I'm not a fan. Hangzhou played a very similar comp, if not the same comp at one point. I really don't like it. Good job there from Dynasty being coordinated in their dive there. While they EMP, they purple, they all dive in together. That's great. They only get the one kill though. They're trying to sustain through here with their rally. Seoul also used their own rally for sustain. Oh, and Rio is back with the fat shatter. So why does the start of this fight go poorly even though they kill the Reinhardt, right? It's like, man, first kill. It's on the main tank. So, first of all, Fitz does a cheeky little fake like throw of his TP, so they think he's going to EMP there, and then he actually EMPs from here, so they don't break it. That's, whatever, a nice little thing. Doesn't end up making a big difference, but it's fine. Maybe he does end up dying because he actually does TP to it or something. We'll see. So the Rhine just gets one shot. That's fine. The Torb is off-angling with his turret and his ult. So this all of a sudden becomes dangerous for Seoul to stay. Okay. So much value from this Torb ult from Nero. Look at all this shit. Marvel has to eat some of this, bro. He needs to be eating. He should be eating all of this. But now all of a sudden, there's Torb ult here. And this is really hard, and that's exactly why Fitz dies, because everyone has to hide from the Torb ult. Gesture's just chilling in the corner, gets nanoed. But Fitz is already dead. Prophet's getting rushed. They try to bomb and nano to stabilize, but it's too little too late. Comes back with a shatter. So the big thing is they get a quick single kill with their EMP bomb. Maybe their EMP bomb was a little early, and you would want them to be a little bit more in the open before you do it, but it's not that big a deal. The real problem is that when they tried to retreat, Nero got huge value with this Torb ult, and Marvel did not eat any of the little coombs. Okay, so this time they wrap all the way around. They get the hack early. They hack the BAP at the same time as Gesture goes in and Prophet's lasering him. That's that shit I do like. Can Gesture live? He has Primal, so he will live. I don't know if he's going to kill anything. He barely kills Chara and ends up actually dying for it. That's really hilarious. Doshin is in a precarious position over here. Gesture's going to come back on ball. Prophet has ult. He copies Rhine. I actually like the Echo copy. The grab Torb ult is brutal. Torb should be dying here, though. Mech gets broken. This is actually probably a fight win from Charge unless Fitz hero EMPs, but he probably shouldn't do that. So really, Badoshin being like cut off from the whole team there was a really big problem for them in that fight. His positioning really kind of fucked them. Alright, so they do have EMP this time. There was also a rally and a high noon to deal with the engage though. Toby looking for a flank. Fitz dies during the EMP. I really need to see why that happens. The bomb goes in. It's still high value even though the EMP isn't there. It's actually insanely high value. Drone gets broken. Please don't get whip shot off, Gesture. He's getting burned so hard by Krong. They don't have good sustain. Both tanks are shattered. Damn, Guangzhou wins. Alright. So Fitz's EMP gets canceled. That's the big issue here, right? They should easily win this fight if they lead with a strong EMP. Oh my god, he literally just decloaks in the middle of the choke and just gets destroyed. That is very bad. Fitz just fucked up. But seeing Guangzhou play this comp, like, it's really interesting in the sense that if you're never gonna kill these tanks ever, unless you're like EMPing, right? It's really hard to kill the Rein Zarya frontline, so they just never really kill it, and because of that, they have to dive past those tanks into the backline. But the backline is very anti-dive, right? The backline is Brig, Bap, McCree, Torb, so that's about as anti-dive as it gets. So it's very anti-dive, and you dive past them, and meanwhile, the Zarya is just, like, killing a bunch of shit because she's, like, getting high charge and staying alive because no one's focusing her. So the Rein and Zarya actually end up getting value. So actually, I definitely am not hating the comp as much as I initially thought I would, but I think if Dynasty just plays Zen instead of Ana, Charge's comp sucks, because then you can discord the front line and you can kill the tanks, and it's a much bigger issue to have the Rein Zarya with this slow comp. How do you feel about Marvel playing off tank? Think he's doing well enough, or do you think they should just invest in a new off tank? I don't think he's doing terrible. I think there are better off tanks out there. I'm not sure what's going on with Michelle, though. I don't know why Michelle's not playing, so it's hard to say if they should invest, right? Because, like, if they expect Michelle to come back soon or something, obviously not. If they don't know how long it's going to take, sometimes it's hard to say. So this time we have Dive Mirror. Charge won the first map, but they playing against the dive with the anti-dive comp, but they decided that this was going to be their play. So that wasn't going to work here. Good nade from Doshin is the difference maker at the start here. And Rio lives. Okay, Rio gets out. Gesture's been hacked. Fitz is very, very ahead on this EMP charge. The re-engage comes in from Rio. Gesture trying to zone. Both teams playing together. Shu very safe on this off angle. But on the other hand, Badoshin gets to play aggressive from his angle. So let's look at what lets Doshin get 2 fat nades, because that's a big deal here. So both teams' rollouts are pretty similar. Doshin and Shu both getting here at around the same time, both taking a little bit of spam from the echoes. Doshin just instantly throws that nade. And Gesture puts down a bubble right away, so that nade isn't as much of an option for Shu. So all of a sudden, Chara has to run back. Rio is scared. Now Shu is cut off from having good healing angles. He uses his nade defensively. It doesn't even... No, it does heal Rio. Rio literally would have died without that nade. So they're healing him up. But now this is when you're kind of effed as Charge. Because look at the sightlines this Ana has, right? And you get to see everywhere that Charge wants to push. And then you look at Shu and his sightlines. And he does not get to see where his team wants to push. His team doesn't want to play over here. This team doesn't want to play in these sightlines. Like, they want to start here and then push in, right? But the problem is, as soon as they get in this area, Badoshin can shoot them, but all Shu can do, he can't contest the enemy team at all. He can only heal his own team, and that's really bad. So Seoul just has all the space. Retaking across this bridge is not easy. And again, Guangzhou, for a totally different reason this time, Guangzhou ends up playing first fight like a retake. So they dive in aggressively. Gesture also jumps in onto Eileen to try and trade cooldowns here. They break the bubble very fast. Super fast breaking of that bubble from Seoul. They just instantly break it. As Krong tries to back off, they hack him. So now there's no bubble, there's no defense matrix, free purple. And that just makes this fight incredibly hard to stabilize and to recover. That was basically just a better rollout from Seoul at the start of the fight where Gesture put down bubble early and Shu tried to come this way, I think to avoid spam, but Doshin just went wide and looked for the nade. And it's a risky play. If Krong eats it, then they're kind of super fucked, but Krong did not eat it. Why do you think people have been playing more Ana Brig Dive rather than Zen Brig Dive recently? Because I think Ana Brig Dive is more forgiving and lets you play more around ults. But I think Zen Brig Dive lets you play more aggressively and it's more punishing when you make mistakes, but it gives you more control of the game. So I think Zen is better, but I think teams play Ana because if you're... you still need to be pretty coordinated, but it's a lot less, and it also depends on your tank play style. In the Zen comp, your tanks don't get to play. They play way more for controlling space, and their cooldowns are super duper important. But in the Ana comp, it's like they have a lot more options in what they can do because they have heals all the time. So if your tanks are like the very, very important part of your team, or your tanks like control everything about your team, and then you tell them, oh, we need you to hide to play this comp because you can't take any spam damage, so you just have to hide at the start of the fight. If you don't have DPS players that can like call and like run everything, it's actually really hard. Okay, so they nano dive in while Eileen is in the backline. Eileen does not get a hack. He gets forced out. The defensive EMP comes out from Fitz. Rio is staying alive for a long time, but it's not going to last forever. Gesture is just getting insane bubble value, bro. Gesture is the hero. He is cutting off the supports every time. Look at this. He just walks up and puts the bubble. He's like, you're not healing anybody, bro. You're not healing nobody. You get nothing. And Rio just gets killed. You can't do anything. It's exactly what I thought. 200 IQ. Oh, fuck. Now you make me think I might be wrong, bro. Alright, so let's see how they set it up this time. Looks like... Okay, no, Eileen is actually definitely looking for an EMP, not a hack. Well, okay, we got a Skyboxer from Prophet. So early EMP from Eileen at the same time as his supports are trying to peek. The problem is retaking across this bridge is so fucking hard, bro. It's so fucking hard. Badoshin hits a big sleep onto Shu as Shu's trying to push in. So that means they don't get the nade to follow up on this EMP. Okay, actually they do nade Gesture, but that's because Gesture's in their face, right? So they don't get the nade on the hacked targets, which I think is just Marvel, which means it's a... No, there's no way. He had to rehack him, right? He definitely hit more than just Marvel, right? He had to. Nope. He solo EMPs Marvel because Gesture engages right as they're crossing the bridge. Chara should be able to whip shot this, to be honest with you. But this is really good. Again, Gesture cutting these people off so there's no follow-up on the EMP. That's really, really good. Also, Big Sleep comes out from Doshin onto Shu, which makes it even harder for him to be able to follow up. And yeah, Prophet also looks like no, he's getting an armor pack. I thought he was ulting, but he's just getting an armor pack. But yeah, this is a really big play from Gesture to use the nano like this. Toby's just going to use the rally to help the backline sustain. And Charge is definitely going to have to invest more ults if they want a good chance in this fight. So he uses Bubble to block the whip shot like a true alpha main tank. Gets slept as soon as he pops Primal, gets hacked. He's getting farmed a little bit, but he's not going to die. The whole team's pushing up with him. Actually ends up killing Eileen. And now Charge has a boatload of ultimates to push in. Dynasty used a lot to live there. They used both support ults, their Primal and their EMP. Oh no, they didn't use their EMP. They used the EMP the fight before. So they used both their support ults and their Primal. They do have an Echo ult. I'm interested to see how that goes, but I really just want to see a fast bomb engage from Krong. Because this is such a weird, like, no one ever retakes on bridge, bro. Everyone always plays a comp that can retake this way. This is such a hard retake. And you see, Gesture keeps stopping them from fucking retaking. So I want to see Krong throw his bomb in and clear all this space so that they can try and get in. But they're just trying to walk in. And Gesture's just trading with them, trading with them, trading with them. They've got the bubble there. They get naded and Shu's dead. It's over. Oh my god, and Prophet egos the shit out of Chara. Doshin is getting insane nade value here, though. Like, let's see how this happens. So, Rio tries to go on Fitz. I don't know why he's diving Fitz. There's no way he's killing Fitz alone. He sleeps Krong. And then he's like, oh, free nade. And then he quickscopes Shu twice in a row. Blap. No, the second one's a hard scope. Oh, he misses one? Blap. Doshin carries that. Doshin and Gesture play this point so well. I think retaking through this is really hard, though. I don't know why you do that to yourself. Is it really impossible to make your backline go here? Is that really outside the question? If it is, you should play a different comp, bro. You cannot retake on that bridge, I think. Wait, why isn't Charge TPing? Why isn't Charge TPing? Is Eileen trolling? Oh, are they not going white room? Wait, it's still a troll, though. What is this rollout, bro? Yeah, they're trolling. They trolled their rollout. They're on very similar comps. Fitz has the sim. Oh my god, get destroyed. Get destroyed. Whew. So, I think Charge actually plays this well after they troll their rollout. So these are obviously very similar comps. I think these are both acceptable comps. I think Eileen should have started on Sim so he could TP people and then TP back with Reaper. They trolled and now they have to play this fight like a retake. It's super awkward. But the obvious difference between these two comps is just these heroes, right? And the difference is obviously Reaper can flank and stuff, but the big deal is Reaper doesn't need ramp up time. He does full damage instantly, where the Sim needs time to ramp up. So Charge is like, fuck that. We're not going to give you any time. We're just going to hard rush your ass. We're going to speed, pull, fire strike, wall, run on you. And that's exactly what you need to do. Boom. Pull fire strike on them. Wall them off. Reapers on the tank, swinging on them. Drones get traded. Killing tanks. Really good boop out from behind the Orisa shields. Super well played by Chara, actually. Got it, guys. We don't go white room. They'll never expect us to give up good positioning. Yeah, I mean, there are comps where you don't go fight in white room, but with this comp, you should. I don't know. Maybe they just were like, we don't want to fight in there because it gets RNG sometimes, and we want to try and just win because we're better. Oh, Eileen's going to force this drone. Hiding in this corner as Reaper is so annoying, actually. Oh, and they get the square out already, too, so they do the pull fire strike square. Yeah, that's a really good reaction from Charge. Dynasty actually does a good job of using their wall first, which means they can't get walled in the choke, but Charge just positions well around it and still gets value out of their Baptistol instead of getting baited into wasting it. And no one on Dynasty deals with the flank that Eileen's on. They're not even trying to juke anything either. They're just literally going through the same choke every time. They wall themselves in again. Not a great wall to split from Nero, but it's a great wall to stop their rotation and make them just fight in the open. But, oh no. Fitz has made a big play here. How did he get into that position? Let's see. I did not notice he was flanking at all. I wonder if that's like a timed play they go for. Oh, that's just a pull fire strike screwing them over too. So Chara actually does a good job of turning around and seeing the Reaper. That was really interesting timing from Fitz and Prophet though. He started a TP right as Prophet put the wall, so they might not have even seen the Reaper start to TP. But Chara did a really good job of turning around and instantly booping the Reaper. They just got killed by the pull fire strike. The drone died to the pull fire strike, and they took a bunch of damage from the pull fire strike. So they end up losing because of that. Tons of ults for both sides. The big difference is obviously the Blossom for charge. Bongo Blossom, really big. They wall themselves in. They do get in safely. We see a pull Blizzard from Prophet. We don't see any return ults coming out yet from charge. Both beach traded. A very defensive Blizzard comes out from Nero. I don't think they will be able to kill Prophet with it. And Marvel Shatter. Oh yeah, it's Marvel. Oh my god, that's the Bongo Blossom. Bongo Blossom is too OP, bro. It's too OP of a combo. It's actually so fucking good. Charge did a really good job of, like, barely getting punished by the Blizzard, though. Their own Blizzard was kind of sus, but... they made it really hard for the other team to have a clean engage. Why do some teams run Symmetra over Reaper if Symmetra needs time to charge up and Reaper does not? Because you can have time to charge up. Just because the other team can play faster doesn't mean that they'll like play fast enough to get a kill right away, right? Also, Sim has a better rollout. She gets there sooner. So, for example, if you do both fight in White Room, both of you, the majority of your team will get here at the same time, right? So let's say both your Orissas throw their shields right here, even though both Orissas will actually throw their shields further than that, right? But let's imagine both Reinhardts get to this spot at the same time. This dotted line divides it, right? The team with the Reaper's going to be back here because he had to swap heroes and TP and start following, and the Sim's just going to be right here with the team already. So if you get here with the Sim team and you just throw down a wall, all of a sudden it's a 5v6. And the fact your Sim will have time to ramp up by the time the Reaper gets there. Also, even if in some other version of the game, both Reins are here, let's say the Reaper gets here on time, at the same time as the Sim. If you go for a wall play really fast and you don't get the kill, and the Rein Orisa comp with the Sim can sustain and live, if they absorb your rush and they use their Maywall defensively, they use their drone defensively, all this stuff, if they absorb the rush, their Sim is going to be super torqued and is going to win them the fight. Like, it's a winnable matchup. It's not a, like, Reaper is strictly better. I just like that Charge played around their Reaper well and didn't let Dynasty get value out of their Symmetra. There's a pull fire strike. It forces... Wow, that's actually insane Gigabrain. Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a fucking second. Okay. So guess what, guys? Charge has Baptiste ult. So Dynasty knows that Charge has Baptiste ult, and they are prepared to get their 200 HP heroes killed by getting pull Fire Strike squared. So instead, they pull Fire Strike and don't use the square to bait the drone. Now, drone is down, and all they used was pull and their speed. Okay, and they used wall to kite also. But drone and Baptiste are down, and all they used was their normal cooldowns. That was actually super smart. I like that a lot. So now they can pull Fire Strike square again. Good wall to block it, though. That's one other way to outplay it. It does mean that the wall has to get used, though. Oh, Bongo. Oh, no, not even Bongo Blossom. Just normal Blossom. What the hell? How did Fitz make that happen? What a God mode flank, dude. What the hell? He literally just TPs onto the thing behind them. And they don't get the... No, he just breaks the drone hella fast with his ult. That's actually a crazy... That's a crazy TP spot. That's not an easy TP spot to hit, I bet. I mean, that's definitely what he was going for. That's a dope TP, though. And then he just one-shots Eileen coming out of the ult. That's a crazy play from Fitz. It's literally a solo carry after Charge made like some really smart plays to kite back the point. Okay, they walled themselves in. Basically a useless wall here from Prophet. The drone comes out really quick to try and save Marvel. They, oh no, they all get pulled together. Not a great shatter attempt from Rio here. Now Guangzhou's drone comes out, but obviously just gets broken instantly. They are able to rotate safely to point. They had to use their shatter to get there, I guess. Oh, but now they're getting stuffed in White Room. That's not great. The wall comes out. Oh, Krong's dead. Okay, they invest the Blizzard. It's still winnable. They can get some kills here. Oh, the square's out. It's getting hard. It's getting hard to win. Yeah, and Nero goes down here. They did not wall themselves in this time. I wonder why that is. Let's see from Nero's perspective if there's a reason why he didn't use wall to help them get in. Because here, right, he uses the wall. They push in. They could have won the fight here, honestly, if they had just committed, but they don't. Now, they don't have wall back up, but Prophet... No, he does have wall back up. And they try and push in. And they're like, oh, wait, they got their wall back. And Krong's already dead. Damn. Damn, damn, damn. Alright, so they definitely need to wall themselves in, but there's so many ults. No, they don't have to because they're playing back. Prophet might be cheesing them, though. They are cheesing them. They're cheesing them with the pull block or the pull Blizzard. They still get the freeze. They use the Bongo Blossom afterwards. That's all she wrote. Wow. Fitz hero play with the TP into White Room is really the difference maker here, I think. And Nero not walling them in when they went on that weird long dark rotation. That's unfortunate. That's a really close map, though. Really close map. Okay, so Charge decides to pick Hollywood. Does not want to go to King's Row and play more Rush. Does not want to go Blizzard World and play those long sightlines. They really want to go to Hollywood and play Dive. I dig it, I dig it. Dynasty playing the comp that was easily the most popular in the Asia Melee, Pacific Melee. I don't know what it's called. Okay, and Charge again wanting to play this anti-dive composition. So very similar strategy to Hangzhou, right? Hangzhou did the same thing. They lost first map. They picked Hollywood, and they played either this comp or a very similar comp in attack. Okay? And Seoul played that match the day before they played this one. So Charge saw something that made them think that they could actually play this and win when Hangzhou did not. So let's see. Let's see if Seoul's dive has gotten cleaner since the day before. Fitz looking for a spot to hack. Charge positioning because they don't want to make it easy for Fitz to get a hack. They know that he has to get the hack. He really should be playing an IT. That's one tick coming out already. This is so scary for Fitz. He really needs a chance to hack. He does not get the hack off. Shu stops the hack. The dive is not going to work. All of a sudden, the McCree is looking at him. The McCree's still chasing him. And while this is happening, somehow Badoshin has died. They can't dive. They can't dive. They're not finding a hack. They can't dive. Dive not working. Doshin feeds. Doshin feeding. Doshin feeding. Too aggressive, my dude. Too aggressive. Charge just has such good positioning here. That's really all it is. Like, there's just nothing for Fitz to do. Like, where can Fitz play to get a good hack? They make it so hard. Like, the backline, the Brig, McCree, and Baps stay together. His only chance to hack was when Shu was still in IT. And then he rotates. And at this point, like, he can't, there's nowhere he can hack from. His only chance is to hack this way, and Shu knows that's the only spot he can come from, and he's just ready to turn, right? It's a very easy shot to hit because it's a small hallway. You can break that hack, right? A lot of times, if you're standing here and you don't know where the Sombra's going to be, it's hard to, like, hear the hack, spin around, get it. This, if he hears the hack, he knows turn 90 degrees to the right, easy. So it's super hard for them to get a hack here. Nero also playing aggressive, good Torb spot. I love this. This is a very good setup on how to play this comp from Charge. I actually really like this. But this is why it can be hard to play a dive comp that requires hacks and purples, right? I feel like it's easier to play a dive comp that plays around discords. So that's a fat L from Dynasty. Charge has a great rotation. I think Hangzhou didn't... I think Hangzhou capped first pretty quickly in their set two. They just instantly swapped comps onto second, I believe. No, they kept it. They kept it. They had a hard time on second, actually. They like pushed to half, and then they couldn't make it very much further. So Charge has done a good job of instantly looking to get high ground control. This is a goofy-ass fucking turret from Nero. What a weirdo. And destruction, the primal gets nothing, the nano gets nothing, they don't even have to use any ults. This is horrendous. So let's see. Fitz again looking for setup. The Baps on car alone. This is a situation where he's like, fuck, I don't know where the Sombra is going to be. I can get hacked from any direction, right? They dive high ground though with nano, which is really odd because they get no help from Fitz here. Like, where even is Fitz? Yeah, Fitz is like, he's like waiting for them to drop to try and hack them as they drop. Chara escapes though. Prophet's just dead to Nero playing high ground. Shu gets purpled, but now, yeah, it's just already over. It's just cleanup time now. Krong's doing hella damage. Got some questions in chat. Let's see. Kind of random, but do you have any idea what comps will be good on push for Overwatch 2 from what they've shown? Could it be similar to Control? I gotta be honest, I got no clue, man. I'm not even... I didn't really watch that much of the push gameplay when it was at whatever, like BlizzCon or something, wherever it was. I thought the map that they played on looked really dumb and kind of bad, and like it would be just super chaotic and kind of trash. Maybe it will develop differently. I obviously haven't even walked around the map. I've never played the mode. I don't know. Obviously, I'm assuming there will be other significant changes when Overwatch 2 comes out. Multiple new heroes, balance changes to existing heroes. That's just my assumption. I have no knowledge of that. That doesn't come from the league or from Blizzard at all. That's just when a new game comes out, you expect a decent amount of content to come with it. So there's so many changes that are going to happen. It's real, and I don't even understand the game mode of push that well. So it's really not something that I can give you any reasonable answer to, I think. I thought you just tossed the turret. Are you talking about Nero's turret spot? You definitely do toss the turret. That's just a really nerdy spot to put it. Because it's at that weird angle and it can see a whole bunch of funny spots because of that. So it's like hard to shoot, but it can see all the way through to the choke. So really good positioning here. Still Nero holding high ground. The backline playing together. Really, really difficult to dive here. Rallying just to push space. Alright, they EMP the front line and try and do an EMP shatter play with Prophet on the Rhine. But they're not getting a lot of value. They use High Noon to make it scary to push. They use Grab Molten Core, maybe a little bit of an overinvestment to be honest. But it doesn't matter, they're just going to keep on rolling. And that fight was almost unwinnable for Dynasty when they used like 2 or 3 ults to fight before and Charge didn't use any and they were coming into this fight with like 6 ults. It was borderline unwinnable. Charge is really snowballing at this point, super hard. Oh, Marvel feeds. Let's see what happens here. Nero feeds. Nero's calling for people to group up with his voice lines. No one's coming with him. He goes really far ahead of everyone. The Sombra found him, and he's going to die. Unlucky, the Sombra scouted him. He got a little ahead of his team. He was definitely calling for them to come, but I think they wanted to push forward in main a little bit more. Oh my god, the shatter. Oh, Char is living. Shield gets broken, but they sustain. Good defensive shatter there. Zarya Krong is probably very charged now. Oh, good EMP bomb engage though. Or not even EMP bomb, just a hack bomb engage with a purple. So that's actually a huge bomb engage. Killing the Zarya, taking away her charge when she's that close to grab is actually really, really good. Because if they hadn't killed her quickly, she would just build grab in the middle of this fight. They're just keeping the tempo high. Now that the Zarya doesn't have charge, they have ults, they can just play high tempo. They instantly look to EMP in, but they don't really get any kills off of the EMP. Again, the defensive High Noon buys them a lot of space. Prophet's just getting bullied as a Rhine copy here. He really wants to build up the... he does have the Shatter already. He's looking for an opportunity to drop it. So far, Rio has not let him get any value off of those, but the pin is super high value, so the pin into the purple is really big. So far, Prophet's Rhine copies have been pretty good, I would say. All right, what I want to look at, though, is why they can't get a kill in that first part of the dive. Even though that was, like, literally a minute ago. That's crazy. Why can't they get a kill on their EMP? That's the question that I'm asking myself here. Because they should be able to kill someone with this, right? Oh, they don't hit the... he doesn't hit the BAP, that's why. Yeah. Yeah, that's why. Doesn't hit the BAP. Okay. Wait, Nero kills Toby? Wait, they actually start winning the fight? What? Wait, what? They kill Rio, and then they start losing. Or do they get grabbed or something? Nero gets really aggro. Oh, Prophet just straight up dies. Krong and Nero just run on Toby super hard. And that's basically that. That is rough. Okay. So now we have a decent amount of ults still online for charge. It's a pretty small area. Dynasty already used their rally, so they really, really have to get good EMP value. The Torb turret's finally going to die. Good, good. Fat shatter onto Gesture. I like Badoshin swapping Zen versus this comp, though. Zen is way better. Like I said, when you have Zen, you can actually kill the tanks. With Ana, you're not going to kill them. But they need a higher damage DPS. They need Fitz to go Ashe, I think. You don't need Sombra in this comp. Oh, the square is so hard for them to deal with. Okay, the Grav Torb ult does get decent value even through the trance. I did not know that. I thought trance healing would be enough, and they're gonna actually sustain and win this fight. Holy shit, dude. Fitch just needs to get off Sombra. Like, they get some kills here, right? Does Krong die? Oh, Krong doesn't die, dude. That's why. And this is just a really good spot for this, like, bunker E, rush E comp to fight. Whereas Dive has, like, such a hard time going through this choke. Interesting. Alright, let's see what they play in defense. Alright, they play a just full double shield comp in defense. Not the weird-ass Rhine shit. That's interesting. Because they probably expect Dive, right? So in attack, they want to play a different comp into Dive than what they play in defense. Or maybe they know this will force, or they expect this to force Dynasty to play double shield. Okay. Dynasty does get to play the greedy Zen, but they also have a Mei that they probably don't need. But they don't have the Hanzo this time. So at least that's a little bit of an improvement. Toby making mistakes here, getting pulled on the cross, getting drone forced. Nero is going to get way more value than Prophet on this point, on this map in general, I think. I do not think Mei is super useful. Really, the only thing the Mei is good for is pushing the enemy Sigma. So let's see if that's what Prophet does. He does immediately try and run on the enemy Sigma. Brig is there to help out with that. Oh, Eileen down, but Marvel going down is a much bigger deal. That's a really big pick from Nero. Pull onto Doshin, doesn't really do anything. Couple ticks already down. Last second retake, Marvel's back on the ball. Oh, Rio just gets destroyed. Yeah, I feel like this is the Zen advantage, right? Oh, is this clutchable? Oh, how is he not in the drone? Oh my god, they actually clutched this. That's insane. Char is actually really good at Brig. But yeah, the Mei is just not that useful, bro. I really don't think the Mei is that good. Okay, so this time the Mei Sigma, again, this is the old school way you play this comp, is you have the Mei Sigma, go push the enemy Sigma. They freeze him and then instantly pop the Blizzard. That's a good start. They bob on point. Nero's trying to stall with his ultimate. He does stall for a little bit, but he doesn't get the fake flux. Oh, and they just get totally zoned off the point. Yeah, I mean, that was a good rotation from Prophet and Marvel, but Charge definitely should have expected that, right? You always should expect the Mei Sigma to push together onto the opposing Sigma. So I think they could have planned around that a little bit better. Had Nero like flying above to scout, to deal with things. I think they really did not plan for that very well. So now Dynasty gets control of the second high ground. I would love to see them push onto the close high ground, just to put more pressure on Charge. And here we see Charge coming out, doing the classic play underneath them and try and use pull to get them off high ground. That's really good. Marvel pressuring Eileen in the background, but that as long as Eileen doesn't die, like if you're just taking the Sigma's attention, that's pretty worth it. Oh wait, how did they get knocked down? Was that a pull? But that's kind of what you need to do here. You're not going to be able to go up this elevator safely, right, when the other team is all stacked here. So you need to go under them and try and pull them down. This is the right play. Shooting, shooting, shooting. Break the shield. Shooting. Okay, see the new shield. Boom. Pull them down. Perfect. That's so well done by Rio. He ends up dying immediately afterwards to the square, though. Fitz also going down. Oh, bunch of ults popped on both sides, but more invested from Charge. They do get the W. Good square. Good flux. Bongo comes out as well before Rio dies. That's kind of a waste, but having high ground control here is super, super good. It's really hard for Dynasty to push into this, especially because they have the Mei against the Ashe Echo. The Ashe Echo has so much range pressure and benefits so much from high ground control. Prophet's just going to wall himself up here, wall his team up, but they should not be able to push this. Yeah, they're just going to get forced back. The drone gets forced. They don't have high ground control. Gesture at least gets some current movement here, so that's not too bad. Maybe force Rio to drop. Okay, Rio has to match him. That's some progress. All right, Bongo comes out, making some space. We get a whiffed Bob here from Eileen. Eileen does not whiff those shots onto Gesture, though. And Nero finding good timing to challenge Fitz and force him back as well. So that's going to be a dub. And that was only a... Oh, Rally also invested from Chara. So really just Bob. And then Prophet not getting any value out of the Blizzard. I literally didn't even see the fucking Blizzard, bro. Where did he use it? Does it do anything? I mean, it splits them a little bit. Okay, it does freeze the map. But he gets too far away. There's a rally. There's an Orisa shield. Yeah, I just don't think Mei is the play in this comp anymore. I really don't. I think it's very easy to outplay. So now we'll see if they do a similar thing. If they boost up while Gesture pushes. It seemed decently effective for them to gain some space last time. This time they just rotate fully as a team. They use their square on Car. They hard pressure Rio. Force the drone early. Krong is out of position. Gets pushed by the enemy Mei Sigma. I really don't know why he's over there. What happens to make him be over there? He's off angling. Okay. Oh, and then the enemy squares and he's split. That's actually a really well-placed square to split the team there. It's good. Gesture super low, barely living. No, he does not even live. Bob comes out to touch card. That's a pretty terrible Bob. Nero's in the back line, killing Prophet. And this is the thing. Echo can just murder... Let's watch what Nero does here. But Echo can just bully Mei so hard on these high ground maps where she can like fly around all the time. Okay, so she's getting armor. The Ashe is looking for her. You're getting all the armor. Just really fucking Marvel up there. Almost cancels the flux. Has to use his ult just to stay alive. Does manage to stay alive. Breaks the drone. Sees the Mei. Just sticks her and GG. If he didn't get rocked, he would have just killed that Sigma with his beam. Nero plays that fight really well, just being elusive and constantly putting out pressure. But that's just what happens when you have a Mei on this high ground map, bro. Like, I don't know. I just don't think the Mei is worth. I think Echo is just so good. So they finally get the full team wall up, but Nero is behind and is ready to punish them here. Flux happens, and he's going to kill them in the air. Oh, does not get the kill before they land in the drone. Unfortunate. Good wall there from Prophet to knock the Bob down. That actually is a pretty good use of the wall. They know Nero's behind now, so Marvel's always looking for it. Squaring for space. Okay, Seoul's pretty stabilized here. This is pretty good. They still don't have drone, though, so really I want to see Rio go for a pole play here. With, what's it called? With Nero following up. Nero does not get the follow-up, but then they do pop Bongo. Oh, no. Prophet gets his ult eaten. Krong blocks the rock. The Bongo still hasn't even died. Wow. Krong just carries. Krong hard carries that. Krong's actually pretty fucking good, dude. He's like so underrated, actually. So I think, again, Dynasty's insistence to play the Mei in their slow comp is really awkward. Prophet just won't play the Echo there, which is weird. Yeah. The lack of Echo is a problem for sure for them. The fact that in Dive... Like, Prophet's playing better in this series than he was in the last series in Dive on Echo. That's actually... Yeah, that's actually true. He definitely is improved, but I'm still not a fan of them playing Mei in the slow comp, and I still think his Echo is not that good in Dive. Charge playing the same comp here. Dynasty picked Anubis, which is not a terrible dive map. They can definitely play dive in attack and defense if they want to, if they don't want to play double shield, whereas playing dive and attack on Hanamura is really hard, and I don't know. I feel like they could have picked Volskaya if they want. If they really wanted to play dive, maybe they felt that the double shield would be too good there, but that feels like a pretty good dive map to me. But again, I'm thinking about it from the Zen dive perspective, where they don't play Zen dive, and like Zen dive is really good on Volskaya, but maybe the Ana dive isn't as good into the like anti-dive bunker shit that Charge plays, the Rein Zarya. Okay. So I like to have the shield behind. Oh, wow. He just randomly checks the Sombra. Now he's forced out. Now Fitz is going to have to take forever to get back in position. Prophet's already in position, so they're playing Sombra Tracer this time. That's very interesting to me. So they still need to find that hack angle. And then they also need their Tracer to be able to approach the target, as well as their Monkey, and their Ana needs LOS. So here we go. Here comes the dive. This does not look like a soft dive. This is an actual commitment. They already have the nano. I didn't even realize that. They get a really good nade. They miss drone on Rio, and all of a sudden, Seoul has all the space. They have all the tempo. There's no drone. Huge. It's a dead Nero. That was a really good dive from Seoul. I can't believe they built their nano that fast. That's really crazy, actually. Quick cap from Seoul. Again, really, really well done. Charge now on the Rein Zarya instead. Now that they're against dive, they don't want to play the Sigma. They don't want to play the Diva, so they play Rein Zarya. Boom, here's the engage, the hack. They're just staying alive, using Bob to stall for time. Staying alive. Primal up soon, EMP up soon. These are going to be big opportunities here. Here comes the Fitz flank. He's trying to find the Zarya. He sees him, he wants to hack the Rein. No, he's going for the Zarya, actually. Nero goes for a copy. Copies Brig. I think Brig's a pretty good option. Krong is dead, though. How do they kill Krong, bro? Do they actually just hack Pulse Bomb him? Is that the play here? That's so alpha, actually. Run into this closet, hack Krong, and... No, he's not hacked. No, he just gets his shield forced, and then Prophet just sticks him. Maybe this is the adaptation to beating the Zarya comp. Just play like a more aggressive dive that can kill tanks. Like a Zen dive. Really good bubble from Krong to bubble himself to block LOS to save Char from the bomb also, but I really don't think it's going to be enough. Yeah, way too much snowball from Dynasty. Getting that first kill on Krong is absolutely huge with just Pulse. Yeah, but being able to play just a high tempo aggressive dive that can actually kill the tanks, right? Prophet was not able to play so aggressively to kill tanks with Echo when he's against the hit scan, the Torb, the enemy Echo, right? He can't just like into the Zarya. But on Tracer, they can't really stop him from doing that. So I really like that adaptation from Seoul. I keep saying it, but I would still really like to see a Zen against the Rein Zarya comp. When it's a Rein Zarya with no Lucio, just play Zen. You're just going to farm them. But whatever. Like, yeah, Bubble can cleanse Discord. It also cleanses Purple, but like it's so much easier to put Discord back on them after than it is to put the thing. So Dynasty actually taking a page out of Charge's book and playing the Torb Ash with Batbrig. So the very defensive anti-dive, but still with the spam, not with the Rein Zarya that we've seen some of these other Asian teams play. Charge sees that and immediately swaps to an Orisa Rein Mei rush. I actually really like this. I say that somehow Rio is dead. I don't know how that could possibly happen. But the reason that I really like this is that you can run on they have no reliable way anyways to eat your pull. So it's so easy to run on targets and pull them and kill them. Alright, your boy didn't use a shift, just walked out without a Rein shield and died. That's a very bad play. Very bad play. So they wait for him, he almost dies again. Oh, also they're on Moira. I feel like Bap would work really well in this comp. I don't think Moira's bad, but I think Bap might be better. Let's see, the Reaper does a flank TP while the rest of his team pushes. That's good. They've gained some space. They've taken them off of this platform, but now they have to live. Oh, they have to use their wall. Now they're just back kind of where they were, except their Reaper's in a little bit. That's kind of all they've got going for them. Now they want to push out. They use their Orisa shield to gain some space. They're looking for the pull down. Oh, but Marvel's still on the high ground. They're fucked. Good positioning from Marvel to make it like annoying to run on him. He's still very able to be run on though. They can just jump up there the same way he did. Coalescence though is definitely going to get a lot of value here, especially against the hit scan. The Fitz scan, I guess. So now they've rotated entirely to go top. Oh, Fitz is dead. Now Rio's just pushing out. He doesn't give a fuck. He's going to die, bro. They have nothing to do with this Flux either. That's going to do a bunch of damage to them. Rio's Orisa ain't great, bro. Now Krong's dead too. So I think running on Sigma and focusing Sigma is a good play. But like, why don't they just do it though, right? Like, you can just go up here, right? Or look for a boop or something, bro. But like, you should be killing the Sigma here. The Sigma should actually die. They kill just the Ashe. Then Rio feeds. Then they have no answer to the Flux, so they take a shitload of damage. And then Krung's shield gets broken and just killed. Because he can't do it by himself as a Rhine against this comp unless you're running into them. If you're just standing there holding shield, your shield's just going to get broken. Prophet just BM ults on them. Interesting. Not a lot of time left here. Okay, so again, the Cole early. They try and use square, but I feel like Cole wins this. It's really easy to break the bongo when you're calling the whole team like this, or break the drone when you're calling the whole team like this. The Flux is going to come out right now. Rio is already dead. Oh, the beat. Huge beat. Toby, die, please. Shu got him. All right. The turret's still in the corner just shooting people. But Bongo's dead. Everyone's dead. Rally to clutch from Doshin. I wonder if he's going to swap heroes or if they really think this is winnable. But most certainly is not winnable. Pick onto Eileen. Whatever, it's fine. Prophet comes back and feeds. He has his ult up again. I do not think Doshin is swapping. I think he actually was trying to clutch. That is highly questionable. Now Charge is in a position where they can actually snowball. They should not go main, though. They need to go dark, I think. No, they are going to try and fake it going main. I feel like this is so scary against the Molten Core, but they make a play on the Sigma. They force a Molten Core and the drone. All they really had to do was chill after that. Instead, they lose to the Molten Core. That shit is such a cancer ultimate. And Prophet goes Mei. Actually, Mei is good in this situation when they're playing a Mei rush comp. Then Mei is actually good. This is a good swap, actually. Okay, they get rushed on. Marvel uses Flux, avoids getting frozen in the air while fluxing. Doesn't really accomplish a lot with the Flux other than buying a little bit of time. Now they're a little closer to their Bob. Krong gets isolated really hard when they try and run in here. That's not a very good shield either. Huge shatter though. Beat and Bongo for more momentum. Bongo gets broken instantly. Cole gets broken instantly. Prophet's trying to survive. Krong mistimes his shift. Useless drone. Krong's barely living, barely living. Oh, Nero and Chara finally going down. This should be it. Only one tick taken. Oof, you hate to see it. That's one of the things that can happen in these long fights sometimes with Moira is you just run out of juice. Your team kind of runs out of gas, runs out of steam, and there's nothing you can do. Dynasty has a lot of ults here, and Charge is got a pretty bare cupboard. You really expect to see an easy win from Dynasty here. They're still trying to pressure the Sigma. They slowly force him out. They force a drone early. That's pretty good. But they still don't really have stuff to work with. They have the double support ult, but that's not always enough to get through the Flux Blizzard. Flux Blizzard is pretty intense, right? So here we go. Flux and Blizzard both invested. Beat and Cole both invested. Chara's already down. Marvel's going to die as well, though. This puts a lot of pressure on Shu, though. Shu's not going to have any heals except for his self-heals. No one can help him stay alive. Very deep push from the Rhine and the Mei here. You like to see it, especially with no Lucio being able to get in there and find kills. Rio does kind of get left alone, though. And this is looking harder and harder as respawns are going to start coming in. Yeah, they just can't keep the tanks alive. They don't have enough sustain healing. So it's really just the snowball that Seoul had that gave it to him. I think Charge could have held for a really long time on second if they had stabilized, but the snowball really stopped that. I like the rush comp on first, but it's pretty hard on second to play like a low damage rush comp. just because of how that point works, how 2CP on Anubis works in general. So W for Seoul. So far, it started out with Guangzhou picking a map and losing. Then they picked another map and they won that one. Then Seoul picked a map and they won that one. So outside of the first control, which was very close, it's just being won by whoever picks the map. With that said, Charge opts to go to Junkertown. This is a map where you have to play the double shield with Zen, at least on first point. The Zen is just too fucking good. And I think Charge feels like they are better at the double shield. They're better at the Orisa Sigma. So they want to come to a map where the Orisa Sigma is really good and the Mei is really bad, because they know Dynasty really wants to play Mei and doesn't want to play Echo, doesn't want to play double sniper. So this really, or doesn't want to play Widow Tracer. I actually think this is a very good comp. I like this Widow Tracer a lot from Charge. This is the same kind of comp that we would play in this situation, either Widow Tracer or Widow Echo. I really want to see how Nero approaches Tracer on this point. I don't really know him as a Tracer player, so this is super interesting for me. It looks like he's trying to hunt the Widow or contest the Widow. It's not normally what you would do in this situation. Also, not normally what you would do in this situation is push Coast with Sigma Mei when the enemy Sigma isn't there. That's very odd. Where is the enemy Sigma? Oh, the enemy Sigma is kind of here. He's just baiting and not getting pushed. Yeah. This is why the Mei Sigma is kind of out of fashion here, because you can definitely outplay the Mei pushing you, and other DPS can just get more value by playing flanks or pressuring other parts of the map. So Nero just deletes Fitz there, just hunting the Widow the whole time. That means Happy is totally uncontested, and Nero is actually popping off in the backline, bro. Who is this guy? Oh, he instantly recalls after he sees where Fitz is. Deleted. He does the same thing to Doshin. Wow, bro. This guy's cracked. Okay, let's see. Alright, so now they're in a position where they've capped first. Dynasty has control of high ground on second, and this can be a hard thing to push into. Prophet has decided to mirror Tracer. This is a matchup you like to see. I think when both teams have Tracer, the Brig might be better than the Zen, honestly. But this is a situation where Guangzhou needs to like push the car a little bit, but they also need to try and split their shields, and they need to try and play from underneath to pressure. So I think too many people are playing on top of the Orisa here, and that makes it hard. Nero, it seems like, whiffs his pulse. The Sigma Tracer duo is pushing together. That's interesting. Oh, the Brig has come to hunt down Krong. That guy is definitely dead. Square comes out from Dynasty. Nero's still finding kills somehow, still finding value. Happy gonna go down. Nero's trying to find someone to kill here. Prophet about to have another pulse bomb. They go for the pull pulse. Chara dies even through the trance. That's really unfortunate. Flux comes out. Bongo comes out. So many ults getting invested. Prophet actually chokes the kill on Shu. And somehow Guangzhou is actually going to win this goddamn fight. How do you lose this at this point? This is crazy. So they get pulled and pressured a lot. That's a really good pull. They decide to flux. I don't even know who gets fluxed. Oh no. Prophet tries to push past the Sigma. Shu's ready for it. Boop boop. Oh. The Sigma helps out a little bit with the damage there. For sure, the kick was not enough to kill him. And the bongo just wins the long fight. Gesture doesn't have bongo yet. Sucks to suck. Oh. Some trade kills back and forth. So now Fitz is swapped to Hanzo. That's a really weird swap. Maybe he just feels like he can't win the Widow duel versus Happy. Maybe he feels like he's getting too pressured by Nero, but I think it makes their comp worse. Prophet having a hard time pushing in, getting pressured a little bit. His recall's already forced. That looked like a pull pulse. Yo, Nero's Tracer is actually really clean in this map. Did anybody know Nero had a Tracer like this? Did anyone in chat know that Nero had a Tracer like this? This is crazy. So they go for the pull. That's actually a pretty late pulse, I think, but it still forces the, or breaks the drone and the bongo, so it's fine. But the timing on that was definitely a bit off. The Discord onto Marvel is going to be big. Tanks are dying. Nero gets to play this really, really strong off angle and just do maximum possible Tracer DPS. Oof. Already has another pulse. I knew he could play it, but not this well. Yeah, bro. His Tracer actually looks really clean here. Like, I would say, so far, he has played better than Prophet. And, like, that's not because Prophet's bad or something. Prophet hasn't had a lot of space to pop off, but it's crazy that you can say that at all. So he wants to pressure high ground. Shu kills Doshin when Doshin gets pulled. They got an easy pull on Doshin, and that doesn't get droned for some reason. So now on the... Oh, okay, Nero rejoins the team. They really should look for pull pulse here, and then they can rally aggressively afterwards. Oh, Nero almost dies to that Sigma duel. That was actually really well played by Marvel. If you guys remember, Marvel was the Sigma player for Seoul during playoffs, I believe. Alright, so now they're getting Flux, which forces Trance, but their Sigma is going to die for it. Dying to force Trance, definitely not worth, if anyone was wondering. Fitz trying to stay alive. Okay, Prophet still gets a kill, though. Let's see how Prophet finds this. It's after Trance ends. Right? Nero's looking at him, trying to stop him from flanking. Prophet... Oh, barely gets some help. Almost dies to Nero in the melee there. Nero playing really well. Wow, I can't believe that stick actually lands. That's crazy. I really just want to watch Nero, bro. I can't believe this guy's got a Tracer. Like a legitimate Tracer. Wow. Look at this guy's fucking aim, dude. What the fuck? Look at him follow... Prophet. What? Holy shit, dude. Nero always been this good since back on Toronto Esports. I remember Nero from Toronto Esports. He wasn't this good, bro. He was good. He was always a good player, but he did not have a Tracer like this, bro. I promise you, he did not. Oh, and I say that, and he just gets fucking bodied by Prophet because he wastes all his cooldowns. You hate to see it. So now they're forced to back up a little bit. They've still got time to work with. They've still got ults coming up. They get squared on. They're backing up. They're backing up. They're waiting out square. They get a Flux. Happy kills Prophet. They can push back in. They should just rally, bro. Just rally. Fuck. Happy's dead. There's the rally. Thank God. Just fucking kill the tanks, bro. You're rallying. Hell yeah. Broke the drone. Oh, the bongo's actually super scary. Good pull with the square. It doesn't matter, though. Prophet and Doshin popping off. Prophet heard me saying that Nero was playing better than him and decided he was going to pop off here. That's definitely what happened. Prophet with Bongo. That's no fun to deal with, that's for sure. Okay, so now all of a sudden Charge is in a much rougher position. They decide to swap to their own Mei, but play a Zen with it. That's pretty odd, I think. I say that, but Nero instantly gets a kill. I hope that... It looks like that was off of a pull, because there was an Orisa assist. I don't know why two people are getting pulled and dying without a drone happening. That seems like a massive misplay. Wow, that was just kind of luck. Let's be honest. Like he shot at the thing. Oh, Nero's dead. Oh no, good drone. Oh no, Toby's dead. Good, really good off angle from Marvel though. Marvel, or no, that's not even Marvel off angling. Who's off angling? Fitz? Marvel just gets 2 random kills though. But Happy says, fuck you, we win these. Oh, they just shot his feet! You hate to see it. You hate to see it. But yeah, really, they were just snowballing all the way through until here, but they couldn't put together a push to close it out. It really felt like an issue of the Zen from Badoshin and then Prophet swapping Tracer, both getting a lot of value, but I felt like they could never get their tanks in good positions, right? Like, I don't think Krong ever got to play up here for their attack, right? Like, that's usually the god spot for your Sigma. You have your Orisa pushing cart, right? I mean, I guess it's still not over. But now they've got their Sigma up in the god spot, right? This is really good. And maybe that's what the Mei helps them do, is at least get their Sigma into this position. But he just has to drop right away because Orisa's under so much pressure. And this Bongo ends up not being very good. Krong actually dies here. I'm not sure how. Little more square footage gained. What happens to Krong? That's the crux of what happens here. So he drops point. He's got HP. He's doing fine. Oh, Doshin just hard egos him with a 5 orb and a Discord. Wow. That was a god gamer move. Holy shit. Okay, well, Badoshin just hard carries that last fight. Yeah, Badoshin's Zen on third got a lot more value than the Brig did, just because of those long sightlines, because the Sigma was never able to play in that god spot consistently. So the Zen really, really works out there. And it's just kind of like on first point here, where the Zen is just super, super valuable. Even though Brig Tracer is a good combo, sometimes you just gotta let your Zen fuck. So we see Charge on defense. Wanting to hold close with a rush comp. Interesting, interesting. Dynasty definitely getting ready to walk out on this Zen. We got the evil toaster maneuver. The entire team evil toastering. Oh, they get pulled down. Drone gets broken. No one's dead though. Entire team evil toastering. They're running on the Mei. Oh, Prophet. Oh, Prophet's dead. Oh, Marvel's dead. Alright, now they're fucked. Wait, why are they on Mei Sombra? What is this? This is the biggest bitch comp I've seen in my entire life. Literally everyone on your team is like a not scary bitch. No one on your team is like gonna kill me. I'm not afraid of anyone. What the hell? Why are you... This comp sucks. Rio's Orisa is like not that good though. He kind of feeds a lot actually. Fitz trying to farm an EMP. He's getting pretty close. Ooh, Happy dies in the back line. This is also awkward because they have Happy in, right? I mean, Happy's not terrible at Reaper, but like his strength is pure hit scan. Just let him play Widow and bully Fitz. Excuse me. All right, let's see. So they make it into the Mega. Good, good. Bad wall from Prophet. Now they get to push out wherever they want. Ooh, Happy's under pressure. Rio's just already had to run to point by himself. Again, kind of going on his own as Orisa in not a good way. Oh, touch, 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 touch. Okay, they do touch. Oh, they're getting fluxed off, though. And that's a fat dub. Flux is just so OP in these comps. Way better than Shatter will ever be. And that's why we see Krong swapping. Nero also used his ults. I think Shu needs to swap. He probably wants to keep because Chara almost has beat and they don't want to go on to slow supports, but I feel like this is going to start to get hard for Charge. They're going to have to push into an EMP here, and that EMP is going to allow Dynasty to build a lot of other ultimates as well, because Chara doesn't really have the luxury of playing to dodge the EMP, I don't think. We'll see how that plays out. Marvel is already dead somehow. What the hell? Oh, 1 second. Let me plug in my headset. It is beeping at me that it is dying. Looked like Prophet followed pulls a lot more than Nero. Maybe Nero playing away from the team so much on third wasn't great. I think it's just more that the defense, it's easier for the defensive tracer. The defensive tracer like has good space on third. Like here, I'll just run over to third point really quick and talk about it. So on third point, like when you're on defense as tracer, the people you want to pull pulse are usually going to be like here or maybe up here, but usually they're going to be here. Okay? It's pretty easy to get to this spot as the defensive tracer, right? It's pretty easy to flank around this way, you know, come this way. It's pretty easy to just come from here. It's pretty easy to get control up here. Like, you have so many options. They can't really stop all of them. It's basically impossible for them to stop all of them. It's much easier for Tracer, the defensive Tracer, to get here. Now, when we look at the attacking Tracer, the people that the attacking Tracer wants to pull pulse are playing in here and in here. Those are way harder to get to safely, right? So I think that's the big difference, is the first half of third, Nero was still like consistently following up on those pulls, but once you get to the end of third, it's a lot harder, and you need to start killing the Sigma. And that was why I felt they got stalled at the end of third, is Krong never got in the God spot, and they never pushed the enemy Sigma out of the bottom here, so he could always come up and fight Krong. So that's, I think you're right that Nero didn't follow up on pulls as much at the end of third, but I don't think that's like because he was like, oh, I should change my playstyle. It's just because the map makes it way harder to in that spot, I think. Oh, I forgot. I was waiting to see why Marvel fed. Oh my god, he goes into old spawn? Oh no. Okay, so Bongo thrown out to try and sustain. Decent wall. Rio just kind of dodges it, but Happy dies for no reason. Now all of a sudden they're getting rallied on. They don't have damage from Happy. They definitely wanted to Bongo Blossom, right? That was definitely the vibe. Well, they Bongo. He probably TPs and dies. TPs and just gets doinked by Prophet or something. Yep. He gets bashed and doinked. Yeah. So that sucks. That was your Bongo Blossom play ruined. You don't have Flux to sustain. You're just going to get EMP'd. Good beat to counter from Chara. That was actually not an easy one to get. Happy has had time to get back. Fitz and Marvel on the flank. Oh, they find Shu. But it doesn't matter. Happy pops off and fucking cancels Prophet's ult, bro. What the fuck? That's actually an insane pull, but Coalescence is too OP. Prophet. Oh my god, I can't believe he uses that there. That's such a throw, dude. That's such a throw. Yeah, I was going to say, Dynasty has to change comp. In this small-ass area, there's no way they can play Sombra May. That's some weak-ass shit. Okay, so they decide to play Doom Echo. I feel like they just don't know what to play. They're just, like, tilted or something. How do they win this series picking fucking Doom Echo? They also don't kill Rio there. Yo, Rio dies way too often on Orisa, or like gets out of position on Orisa. For real. Whether it's Orisa Sigma or Orisa Rhine, when they play Orisa Rhine, they have Krong play Rhine for some reason. But they shouldn't do that because they shouldn't have Rio play Orisa. That guy feeds all the time. Dynasty's comp fucking sucks, dude. Oh, they just don't know what to... Profit literally, they just don't know what to play. They're just like constantly changing comp because they're like tilted and confused as to what to pick. They don't know how to deal with this rush. Okay, Flux comes out. Not going to get a lot of value. It just forces a couple cooldowns and the Cold to trade. Here comes the engage on the Blizzard. That Flux was definitely not necessary, but whatever. Fit's actually really getting the fuck in there, honestly. Okay, almost another Cold up for Shu, so building these really, really fast. Finally, Dynasty decides they just want to play a full rush comp. Finally, they pick a comp that somewhat makes sense. I dig it. See if they can push through high ground with their wall. Both teams get weird walls. Both teams get bongos, but a good boop from Toby gives an opening here. Oh, but the freeze and the bongo blossom combo fits just swapped onto Reaper, so of course he's not going to have that blossom. Oh, gets stuffed. There's definitely time for them to touch cart, though, if they rush. Oh, if it's on the Symmetra now, they really don't know what to play. They've tried flip the map. At least it's something. They're still just going to get coalescence, though. Bedosian has his own Cold to match, so maybe they can get value out of Prophet's ultimate here. Dynasty does have a decent amount of ults coming up here. Happy just fucks up and then gets fucked over by Nero's wall. He's so low. Big pull. Wait, Nero has another Blizzard? Oh, what? Yo, Nero comes into this fight at 50% ult and builds up a Blizzard in time to use his before Prophet, bro. He's just doinking him. That's so big, dude. And they kill Toby at 95 to beat. They Flux combo with it. Nero hard carries this map, dude. Holy shit. Nero's so fucking good. What the hell? And that sends us to map 5. Seoul picks Busan. That's weird. I wonder what comps they want to play. It felt like they got really lost in the double shield sauce there. This also makes me feel like if Guangzhou had played a little better in the first map, the series would have been over. If Dynasty wants to play dive and wants to play maps where charges anti-dive comps are bad, I feel like they should have gone to Ilios. Maybe they just didn't practice that much Ilios. But like... This comp's definitely good on like ruins, but try playing this shit on well, bro. It's just gonna it's gonna go so bad for you. But it's probably good pretty much everywhere here. So Tracer Sombra, they decide not to play the Echo, which I think is good. I think there's no reason to play Echo against these DPS if they don't have the Lucio speed. I think you could play Tracer plus a hit scan, honestly, and a Zen. I know I keep saying that, but this is not a bad option. Getting off the Echo, I think, is a really good move from Seoul. You can just play so much more aggressively and proactively on this composition. They see that they don't have an Echo, and they actually change comp. So when they see there's no Echo, I guess they feel that that the Sigma is safer when there's no Echo to punish him, which is an interesting thing. And they also would rather play Anna, which I think is very odd. I think when I have Sigma, I really appreciate having the BAP. I feel like BAP Sigma has a lot of synergy. I don't know why you need Anna instead of BAP in this comp. I mean, Shu's really good at Anna. Maybe that's why. You're kind of unlucky that his mental is booming. Is his mental booming? I think he just has to go back to the US for like visa shit, right? I don't know. He just talks a lot about the season being rough and talks about it openly, like on Twitter or whatever. But I don't think his mental is like actually boomed. I think he's just frustrated. It's a long season. I think pretty much everyone feels that way. People just don't talk about it. But I don't know. This might be a dumb question, but do coaches have a say in choosing the map? Yeah, of course. Yeah. Yes, for sure. Players also have a say, right? But it's definitely, the coaches definitely have a big influence on it. But we also talk to the players about what we want to play, what maps we think will be good against their comp. Like if we pick this map, what comp are we gonna play? Like, but we have a lot of that planned ahead of time. But obviously during the middle of the series, like you realize things about the other team's habits or their play style or what comps they favor, and maybe that makes you decide what map you want to pick. But we have discussions about it for sure. Okay, so they have to go for these really coordinated dives like we were talking about before, right? Even though they don't have an Echo, they have the Tracer instead, so it's a little more aggressive. They still have to get the hack, get the purple, get good damage all on the same target. And that is not easy with this composition. The McCree Torb gets to hold a lot of space. A lot of space. Okay, so good whip shot to stop the dive from Gesture. They're playing on the high ground, so it's really hard for the Tracer and Sombra to feel like they have good ways to help the dive. Instead, they have to force everyone to drop and then kind of follow up on them there. Krong does eat the pulse. That was actually a pretty poor pulse. Gesture gets absolutely manhandled when he tries to primal them off the back of the point. The Nano McCree just deletes him. And really good bash. I'm actually so impressed with Chara's Brig. I feel like Chara is one of the best Brig players. It's interesting. He also has a really, really good Mercy. He just has good decision making and awareness. He like knows what the enemy team's gonna do all the time. Seems like a really smart player. His Lucio kind of sucks though. It's not terrible, but it's kind of bad. So they're playing split, so they can't all get EMP'd. The EMP instantly causes Fitz to die. They Molten Core all over point. Rio is dead though. Flux is not that great. Gesture is not going to die from that. Nero is dueling the Diva with no fear though, which is pretty big. And they do lose the Diva mech. Oh, Eileen getting booped off is huge. But it's not going to matter. The Shatter is here. Rio is back. Charge just hard outplayed on this point. This is a very hard point, I feel, for Dynasty's comp to work against the anti-dive, though. Like, this anti-dive, I feel is very, very good against Dynasty's comp in this point. I can't believe Guangzhou loses this map. How do they lose Mecha Base, bro? They have to lose Sanctuary and Mecha Base. I don't think they should lose either of those. Krong was hyped going into the league. What's your opinion on him as a player? Was he hyped? I felt like he's super underrated. I felt like he was really good on O2 in Korean Contenders. He was like one of the reasons they were a good team, in my opinion. Oh, there's several follows I've missed. I feel really shitty. Nate Blah, Matras 007, Mako GG, Lama Rama, Kapwinicus and Tricky Zerg OW2. Thank you so much, everyone, for the follows. I hope I said everyone's names correctly. I appreciate the support, guys. Do people run Ana over Zen because the tanks take too much poke from Coom Comp? I always thought Zen would be better too, but no one runs it. I think Zen is better in the comp because the problem with running the Ana is you then do not have enough damage to ever kill the tanks. The tanks just don't fucking die when you play with Ana. And the only way you get to win a team fight is by cycling a bunch of ultimates, okay? Which, whatever, cycling ultimates is good. You're going to have to use ults every fight anyways. But the Zen makes it, like, you have to dive, before you have ults, you have to dive backline when you play the Ana comp, right? So that means you have to dive to try and kill the Brig, Bap, McCree, Torb. Those are not easy targets to kill, especially when they're helping each other, okay? You have to get a hack, you have to get a purple, you have to get perfect dive, like execution timing, so all your damage hits at the same time. It's so hard to do. It's so much easier to just play Zen, and then you can just kill a tank. You don't have to dive backline. You have the option to kill a tank. And if you get a Discord on backline, you can still kill backline too. But the tanks don't just get to feel like, oh, we're immortal. That is why I don't like the Ana comp. I think on some maps, the Zen is hard to play because you don't have a good angle to take, so you can't get a Discord, and every time you try and push in, they're just there to fight you. And I think Downtown is one of those maps where if you lose first fight, retaking with Zen is actually really hard. But in general, I think the Zen is much better into the shield comps. Something like Plat Chat Show that talked about him. Yeah, I thought Krong was really good when he was on O2. I thought he was one of the most important factors for their success, actually. Okay, so again, Charge doesn't TP when they play Reaper in this comp. This is so weird. Are they doing a weird rollout? Yeah, they are doing a cheesy rollout. Okay. I don't know why they would not TP. Is Reaper at least hiding or something? Nope. See, if you're going to do this, I would rather you have your Reaper, like, come hide in this window or something, so when they rotate around, the Reaper drops and you, like, speed into them or some shit. But they're just rotating away, rotating away. Dynasty just has the better comp, I think. I think the BAP is better. They get the pull. They force the wall. Okay. So now they need to get some wall value. They get pulled. They don't get wall value. They're getting rolled. They can't sustain. Yeah, I think the BAP is way better, bro. In the mirror, the BAP is just so much better if both teams have Orisa. So first fight goes to Dynasty because Charge does a weird-ass rollout and plays a suboptimal comp, in my opinion. Now they've got to come back and get value with their Coalescence. Okay, well, Nero just gets destroyed by the Pull Fire Strike, so this Coalescence fight is a wash. Good wall from Prophet. Shatter comes out as well. So that's a decent few ults invested here. 2 ults, actually, so it barely matters at all. Shatter isn't that big in this comp. I hope Shoe swaps. I really hope Shoe swaps. Cross my fingers here. He does swap. Yay. Thank you, Shoe. So now they have to figure out a good way to retake. They at least get the pin out first. Oh, no. They just get blizzarded and walled. Oh, fat Shatter. What the fuck? Oh, but then they pop the Bongo Blossom to try and sustain. Oh, no. And the wall comes out. Bongo's still alive. They beat as well. Yo, Guangzhou is never giving up, but they really should have. Alright, well, they lose the game now. They literally lose because of this. Would May Torb be better than May Reap or May Reap? There's, if both teams are playing Rhine comps, you just don't ever need to play Torb, I don't think. I don't think Torb is good. If both teams are playing like Rhine, Lucio, like run at each other comps, the Torb is pretty bad, I think. Reaper is just way better than Torb. I think you can get away with not playing May if you don't want to. I think you can get away with not playing Orisa, playing a Diva comp instead if you want to. But yeah. I think the Torb is not a swap that I would see as good. You could play McCree, you could play Ashe, you could even play Widow in this map with Rush Comp. You can't do it when you're retaking. Holy shit, Marvel, what are you doing over there, brother? Can they even touch? No, they can't even touch. Wow. Marvel was just wasting their time. Guangzhou really beefed this. They really beefed Control Center. They just fucked up every fucking fight. First fight, they had weird pathing and not a good comp. Second fight, they got rolled by Pull Fire Strike because they don't have a fucking square. Or because they don't have a fucking drone. Then third fight, they use a kajillion ults and lose. Oof, you hate to see it. Alright, neither team playing Dive in this map. That's very surprising. I feel like Dive is much better than Double Shield here. But let's see. Charge not playing Tracer here is very awkward, I think. I also don't know why they're playing McCree. I'll bet you they think it's Dive. Charge thinks Dynasty is gonna play Dive. So that's why they're playing McCree, Ashe, and Brig. Unfortunately, Seoul does not pick Dive. So they are on a worse comp. Seoul is taking so much space. Someone on Charge like swapping? Why are they so far back? What's going on? Where is Rio? What, am I done? Oh, here's Rio. So, the other thing is, when you're playing like spam comp in a mirror, you always want to take Temple side. You always want to come to this side of the map, okay? Because from here, you don't have very good sightlines, and crossing to point is very dangerous. Where crossing like this is a lot safer, okay? So when you're playing a spammy comp, you always want to take here, okay? You can tell that Charge thought that they were going against Dive because they pick all of these tankier heroes instead of the greedier heroes. And they went to Drum. And Drum is where you go when you think you're going against Dive and you're not playing Dive yourself. Oh, Squirmier, thank you for the follow. I do appreciate the support. So this is where you go when you're playing like a Rhine comp. This is where you go when you think your comp is beefier than the other person because they can't fight you in here, okay? You do have the beefier comp, but they get to play all the space they want. They got to take Temple side. So now all of a sudden they get all of this space on the map just belongs to Seoul now. And Guangzhou has to find a way to push into it when they have like less spam. Like, how is Nero supposed to come out and play space? He needs to play wide space, but he's just going to get discorded and looked at. So it's going to be really hard for them in this first fight. And losing first fight because of a weird comp and a bad rollout, fucking 2 rounds in a row, is really shit. Prophet just hard pops also. God damn. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, you can just when you have Discord, you can just kill the tanks. Like the Zen Ashe Tracer for just murdering tanks is absolutely insane. You just play it in Dive as well. You don't have to play it in a shield comp. You just use Brig instead of Bap, and then Winston Diva. Alright, so now we see at least Eileen changing off McCree because he feels he doesn't need to be on a severe anti-dive hero. He can play the Ashe, a little bit stronger in this map for sure. But no other changes. And that might be because when they play Brig, Chara plays Brig, but when they play Zen, Shu is their Zen. Chara does not play Zen for them. So if they wanted to swap, they would have to swap both their supports. I think they should. Or if they're not going to, they need to play a Tracer. But something needs to happen. This was a good swap. They need one more. They need either to swap this so they have Zen, or they need to swap this so they have Tracer, in my opinion. So here we have Seoul holding all the wide space. They have Orisa on point, Sigma holding drum, and Tracer holding temple. Tracer's rotated over to help the Sigma because that's where most of the team is playing. They do get pushed out. So Charge again takes the drum side, at least with their Sigma. I don't know if that's the play, but it at least gives Nero room to work, gives Chara room to flank, so at least gets these parts of their comp working, but they're still just gonna have a hard time. Finally, Marvel also starts pushing, so he has pushed the other side of the map, and that puts immense pressure on Rio and Eileen here. Rio is definitely about to die. Really good push from Marvel and great follow-up from Prophet. Nero is just not getting enough done on this map. This is not a great Echo point, to be honest. It's a very good Tracer map, though. They have to trance to escape. They trance to keep their Sigma alive. Shu has swapped to Ana. And Eileen is dead. This is GG right here. This is so upsetting of a way for Charge to lose this series. This is like depressing, bro. Alright, at least they get a cap. At least they get a cap. But their comp sucks. Because they had to all come back on fast heroes. Except Krong, because I think he had Flux, so he stayed. This is so depressing, though, dude. So now, Dynasty goes to the anti-dive version of the comp. Shu is dead. The rally is going to have a hard time being enough sustain, especially with the bongo coming out. They really need to break this bongo. They do. Good job by Nero to break that. The drone is out. They break the drone. Oh, their other healer is dead, though. That's it. All their cooldowns are gone. Both healers are dead. They can't sustain. They don't have DPS ults yet. They're going to try and stagger to point, but they don't fucking get it. Fuck. This is a heartbreaking loss, bro. Holy shit. Like, they looked so clean on, they looked so clean on Downtown. They looked like they knew the best comp to play. They knew what Dynasty was going to play. And then here, the reason they play Moira here is because they don't think Dynasty's going to play the same comp. They think Dynasty's going to play something else, something weird. So that's why you have Moira instead of BAP. Moira is, like, better against Cheese. But BAP is better like in against a standard comp, right? So they play Moira here because they think that Dynasty will play something weird. Dynasty doesn't play something weird, so they lose because there's this long fight that happens right here. And when there's long fights, BAP is way better because Drone is OP as fuck and Moira runs out of heals. Okay, so they lose first fight because of it. Then when they push in on second fight, they lose second fight because of it, because they die to pull square because they're trying to use their coalescence. They should have just swapped, said fuck the coalescence because they know they need drone for the pull square, but they didn't want to. And then the third fight is the one that threw it. If they got blizzarded right here, right? If they had just taken the L from the blizzard and then pushed in, they could have won. Or if they had had better ults in this fight when they used all of them, they could have won. But they just had a really long fight. They used a whole lot of ults, and they did not make anything happen. And that's so fucking lame. That's so frustrating that basically the first two fights were incredibly difficult to win because of the comp differences. And then the only fight that really mattered was the third fight. And it was just both teams using a fuckload of ults and Seoul just coming out slightly ahead. And then you come here to Sanctuary, and it's the exact same thing. Charge is playing this comp because they don't think Dynasty will play double shield. They think Dynasty will play dive. But Dynasty just mans up and plays the double shield, so they win first fight. Then that makes the second fight incredibly hard. Then eventually Charge is able to get the cap by coming back on fast heroes, but that means they just have a bad comp, and then Dynasty wins. It's just so frustrating. It's one of the most frustrating things about competitive Overwatch for me is that first fight on Control is so incredibly important, and it's just like rock, paper, scissoring your team comp. You literally just have to like hard read what comp the enemy team is going to play, or figure out a comp that can just beat everything, which in most maps doesn't exist, right? Like, you can, Nepal Village, you can like go play the fucking Sim double shield comp, and like that'll beat basically everything if you play it really, really well. But there's very few points in the game that are like that, where there's just a comp you can play, and it doesn't matter what they play, you just play the same comp and roll out in the same spots, and it'll always work. It's just so rock, paper, scissors, and it's really frustrating, and it's such a... Like, Charge still had windows to try and come back afterwards, but it's such a low percentage. It just puts you so behind. It's just such a frustrating thing to see, and I felt like Charge actually played pretty well. I would have loved to see them in the finals, actually. It was a very disappointing loss. I mean, maybe I'll feel differently when I watch the actual finals, because Seoul obviously did really well, but... I was sad, man. I really like Charge, but this map wasn't it. Yeah, I actually like Charge a lot, bro. I like Charge a lot. I feel like Eileen, when he's on his good heroes, is really good. I feel like Nero is a stud. I feel like Krong is a stud. I feel like Shu is a stud. I feel like Chara, when he's on his good heroes, is good. And I feel like Rio is hot and cold. He has some series where I actually think he's pretty fucking good. And then he has some series where I'm like, calm down a little bit there, bud. But yeah. How would you rank Seoul as a team in Owl? Bro, I don't know. They're so inconsistent. And people have said all these different reasons for why they're inconsistent, and none of them really make sense to me. Of course, Outlaws, for example, is a pretty inconsistent team. At least I feel like I know why we're inconsistent. Whatever, maybe other teams or other people in the league or fans or whatever don't. But Seoul is so... It's a brick wall, bro. I cannot see through. I cannot see into the team and understand where their inconsistencies come from. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I think they definitely got to figure out how to get Prophet better at Echo, though, because Echo seems like for the foreseeable future that she will be an important part of playing in the Overwatch League and team compositions and strategies in the Overwatch League, and Prophet is probably going to need to be better at that hero. It's weird Guangzhou didn't expect it at all, because I feel like Seoul's best performances this week were with Double Shield. You say that, but they were just playing dive like the whole fucking series, bro. They played dive on fucking Junkertown. Like, they were just forcing dive everywhere. They played dive the first map on Downtown. On this map, they played dive, and they played the counter dive comp. So, I don't think it's a bad read. I don't think it's a bad read at all. I think it's a bad read on Mecha Base. That's definitely a bad read. They should have just played BAP from the start on Mecha Base. But on Sanctuary, I don't think it's a bad read to expect someone to play dive. A lot of teams play dive here, and Seoul likes dive. Peggy says, hi chat, hi Dream. Hi Peggy, you came just in time. My stream is ending. Haha. I already got through 3 series today. So yeah. But it's okay. I post them all on YouTube. If you want to go back and watch them, you can even watch them on 1.5 speed or something, so it doesn't take quite as long to get through the series, and you can just hear the analysis and not just watch me watching it being like, so yeah, I recommend that. But yeah, I upload them all on YouTube, so these should be uploaded tonight. Yeah, you'll be able to watch them in a couple... I don't know how long it'll take YouTube to process. You'll probably be able to watch them in a couple hours, But yeah, basically my impressions of these teams are Dynasty still has a an echo problem. Um, their Ana dive looked a little cleaner. I like it when they skip the echo just because Prophet's echo isn't good. I would love to see them play Zen dive. I'm pretty sure they don't. But if they played like this, but these three heroes were dive heroes instead, and it was Winston Diva Brig, I would really, really like that. I feel like Dynasty would actually be pretty sick if they played that comp. For charge, they made me understand that Rein Zarya with no Lucio, like anti-dive comp. I'm still not sure if it's optimal, but I at least get how it works, and I think it can be good in some situations as a counter pick. So that's super cool. I really like that I learned that from them. I think that their dive was pretty solid, and I think that their double shield was at its best when Nero was on Tracer, and in the other situations it was not super good. But yeah, I'm just so disappointed that Charge lost this. I really would have loved to see them in the final. Obviously, the Seoul Shanghai match was like a super hype final that people will remember if people actually watched it, I guess. But I really like Charge. I felt like they played well. They showed cool strategies. I would have loved to see them in the finals. It's kind of a bummer. I'm excited to see how they look in June and in the June Jamboree or whatever they're going to call the tournament. So, but yeah, that's how I feel about that. Thanks so much for checking out the review, everyone.